Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. So we finally got the breakout and follow through into new highs on the S&P 500, and in this video we're going to be going over what levels need to hold to keep that breakout intact and what to watch for in the next week from the broad market. Along with that, we'll be going over Bitcoin and the top 3 trade ideas that I'm watching in the month ahead. As always, there are timestamps in the description. Now let's go ahead and get into it. So starting out by taking a look at the S&P 500 with the SPY chart. So last week we went over the first key support down, which was at 626.28 to 626.87, which had produced big reactions on each side. We talked about how it would keep direct upside in play for the broad market as long as it was able to continue to hold that as support. And taking a look at what played out this week, on Monday the market rallied into new highs before finding resistance at 631.54 before pulling back into Tuesday morning. This pullback led to another backtest of the 626.28 to 626.87 key zone, which once again held that support right where buyers needed to, and then from there it tested the previous high at 631.54 on Wednesday morning, which it successfully broke above after that initial rejection, and from there it got very strong follow through the rest of the week, and 636 was also a notable key level, which resulted in another new high being made on Friday. So to next week, the most important support levels to hold below are at 636, 632.8, and 631.54. Each of these acted as resistance and then triggered upside on the breaks above this past week, and 631.54 would be the most important one to hold, as that was the beginning of the overall breakout move into new highs from last Wednesday. That breakout stays intact with a direct upside to new highs staying in play as long as 631.54 holds, and if it was to fail back below there, it could open downside back to the 626.28 to 626.87 key zone, which would once again be a must hold for buyers if tested, and if it was able to break, it would be the trigger for a larger pullback for the market. So to keep things simple into next week, this upside move is likely to slow down and we get some consolidation or a pullback soon, but buyers continue to be in full control of the trend with the recent breakout staying intact as long as it holds above 631.54. Though if that was to break, buyers would want to see no lower than 626.28 to 626.87 or the market can see a larger pullback. So now taking a look at the setup on Bitcoin, a few weeks ago we went over the breakout which was triggered by the break above the trend line and then 112,000, which resulted in that move to new all-time highs. We also talked about how it was likely to build out a new consolidation or pullback next, which is exactly what has played out so far. As we talked about, any pullback or consolidation was healthy as long as it held above 112,000 and that kept upside to new highs in play. So it has now built out this new consolidation for more than 2 weeks and is potentially setting up for another directional move soon. Pullbacks are viable as long as there isn't a break and hold back below 112,000, and I'd be watching 120,000 to act as new key resistance from here, where a break and hold above can trigger the next leg higher into new all-time highs once again. And a stock that I would keep on close watch along with Bitcoin into the month ahead is Riot Platforms, ticker symbol RIOT. So Riot is a Bitcoin miner and has shown the highest relative strength versus other Bitcoin miners, which is notable. A big reason for that strength is due to the recent breakout out of the long-term falling wedge pattern that had built out since April of 2023, so more than a 2-year-long pattern, and the longer that a pattern forms, the larger and more explosive the breakout can be once it does break. So it's now testing the 14.4 to 15 key resistance zone, which can trigger the next leg higher above if it's able to break, and a successful break above can target the smaller resistance at $16 per share next, and then the bigger target levels above there at 18, 20.68, 22, and 23.77. This will move directionally similar to Bitcoin, so that $120,000 level will be key to watch as a successful break above there, and Riot likely gets that successful breakout and leg higher above $15 per share as well. It ideally builds out a larger consolidation pattern before doing so, but depending on what Bitcoin does, it could potentially make that move at any time. And to play the breakout, you'd want to enter on a break and hold above 15, and you could either play it with a tight stop loss back below 15, or give it some room with a tight stop loss below 14.4 or so to play that potential breakout and to keep risk tight. Dutch Bros, ticker symbol BROS, is another stock that I'm keeping on close watch into the month ahead. So taking a long-term view of the chart, we can see that this has been a very volatile stock and is currently at a key decision point for the trend. So it's backtesting the 57.75 to 58.2 key zone, which has been well respected, along with the 200-day moving average, which it has historically had strong reactions off of. The last test of the 200-day moving average marked the swing low on April 7th, which later resulted in a 50% plus upside move. So the 200-day moving average is currently at 59.21, which is key to hold back above, along with the 57.75 to 58.2 zone, and it can be playable with a tight stop loss back below 57.75, which is only about 3% risk from here. If it's able to successfully hold and follow through back to the upside from here, it can target a move back to 62, then 65, the 50-day moving average along with 68.6, and then 70.9 as those next target levels above. And this setup offers great risk reward with that 3% risk down to 57.75 with obviously much larger upside potential. And another stock that's at a key decision point to keep on close watch in the month ahead is Micron, ticker symbol MU. So this stock had a massive upside move after bottoming in early April of this year, seeing a run from about $60 per share all the way up to near $130. It has now had a good sized pullback and is right at a big decision point for the trend. So this includes the 107.1 to 108 zone, the previous trendline resistance as a new support, and the 50-day moving average, which is currently at 111.98. So in order for this stock to successfully put in a higher low before potential continued upside, it needs to hold those below supports, no lower than 107.1, and then reclaim and hold back above the 50-day moving average. Doing so can target 113.4, 117.2, 121.4, and 125 as those initial target levels above before targeting the previous swing high. And this can be playable with a tight stop loss either below 108 or 107.1, so it's another very low risk and high reward setup. We're looking for this pullback to get bought up, successfully put in a higher low before potential continued upside to a new swing high. So that's everything I'm watching for in the week and month ahead. The upside move on the S&P 500 will likely slow down, though as long as it gets bought up above those key levels, it's likely to see continued upside afterwards. Those setups on Bitcoin and the individual stocks are also notable to keep on close watch in the week and weeks ahead. Thank you guys for watching. And for anybody interested in joining the private Discord chat, that is the first link down in the description to my personal trade alerts, nightly watch lists, and I answered any question you guys have in there. Good luck trading the week ahead, and I'll catch you all next time, and peace out.